morning, team. Thank you so much for joining us. It is Tuesday, November 23rd. I'm Amy Kaur, and I'm joined by Kevin Van Eck, and we're live out of the Goose Island office. First, I want to give a really special shout out to my daughter Molly, who, believe it or not, is turning 14 today. I can't believe it. I feel like it was yesterday when I took her little chubbiness home from the hospital in 0-degree weather. But nevertheless, now she is 14. This week is also such a special week for all of us, right? This is us heading into Thanksgiving, which is one of my favorite holidays. I absolutely love it. It's such a great time. It's also a time of year where we're really starting to reflect, and gratitude and gratefulness is such a big part of what we're thinking about right now. So on that note, we're going to be diving into that. So I'm going to ask all of you to grab your cup of joe, your tea, power smoothie, lemon water, whatever it is you may be enjoying this morning, and let's jump into another episode of Coffee with Amy and Kevin.
Yeah, let's get it. Hopefully you have coffee ready or whatever you are drinking. And yes, happy Thanksgiving week. We're going to talk about gratitudes. I guarantee this isn't the first time you've heard about gratitudes, right? Whether it's speakers or conferences, books, anything you've watched online, we've heard about gratitudes and the power for a long time. Well, especially during the holiday season, we find that gratitudes becomes a topic, just as it is today on coffee. But it's important to understand the power of gratitudes year long, and the impact it has on our productivity and our own personal well-being. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dig in a little bit deeper and talk about the why behind gratitudes.
Yeah, I absolutely love this, Kevin. I love the idea of talking about gratefulness or gratitude. But what I want to touch on first is the whole idea of the science behind gratitude, because there really is some scientific fact or research around gratitudes and how they really do impact us on a personal and even a professional level. In 2003, there were two university professors, one from UC Davis and another from the University of Miami. And they actually focused on researching gratitudes and what the results were when they looked at people who did it regularly on a consistent basis. And there were really three things that resonated or were consistent across the board. The first is that people who focused on gratitudes on a daily basis actually felt more satisfied overall in their lives, were happier and just satisfied with where they were in life. The second thing is they talked about how they were just more optimistic on a weekly basis by kind of anchoring and focusing on what they were thankful for in their lives made them just really feel optimistic and better about how things were going. And then the last was they felt better connected with others. By focusing on gratitudes on a daily basis, it really allowed them to, I think, engage more with others on a daily basis. So, the thing that's so interesting is, we've all seen it and we've all tried to work on gratitudes, but the cool thing is there is a lot of research that shows that it really does work. In fact, it was at Expo 2018, right?
Right.
When we had Sean Akers come in and he wrote the happiness
advantage.
I always want to call it the happiness effect. He wrote the happiness advantage, which really kind of dove into that entire concept of being happy and being grateful, and how that not just impacts your personal life, but your professional life, and how you grow so much more by the happiness that you share with others.
Yeah, it was really great to see Sean speak, right? Because he's a happiness researcher, and a big part of what he talks about is gratitude. And so the study that he referenced, that you just mentioned, with the professor from UC Davis and the professor from U of Miami, that study, actually, what they did is they took participants within one company, a large company, participants over a 21-day period. And this is how we get to how we know it works, is during this 21-day period, they encouraged everyone at that company to write down 3 things they were grateful for each day. And so they did. So over the 21-day period, they wrote, call it 64 things that they were grateful for. And it had a great impact because people started to become more aware of what they were grateful for. But here's the interesting thing that Sean shared with us, and what you can find online, is it really wasn't about what was actually written. It's more about training your mind to be more aware of what's around you, the positive things.
Right.
And so when you focus on thinking of what has happened to you in the last 24 hours that you're really grateful for, you are training your mind to look for the positives. Because as humans, a lot of times we're more predisposed to actually looking for the negative.
Right.
Traffic, tires, snow, cold weather. The internet is out, whatever it might be. And so when you look for what the positive things in your life, you retrain your mind.
I love that though, and the thing is that kind of getting back to how sometimes the way that we work through our day, when you break it down to human nature, I think some of that is survival, right? I think we have a natural survival instinct. So sometimes you do not necessarily look for the negative, but you're looking at things that might come into your way from a danger standpoint. And so I do think there has to be a conscious shift where you have to make yourself more aware of not just, what isn't always great, but really what are some of the wonderful things that are out there and what can you be grateful for. And I think it goes back to when we talked about Ninja a couple of weeks ago, the idea of what you focus on expands, right? So when you have the opportunity to start thinking about gratitude and what you're grateful for, I think that does expand or shift your mind, to your point. So here's what we're gonna do. We wanna give it a shot, all of us, that's Kevin and I included, but we want to have you participate in our 21-day gratitude challenge. And so what that means is that we want you to be thinking about what can I do every day for 21 days to write down 3 things that you are grateful for. And we really encourage you to try to do it first thing in the morning, because I think you're fresh out of bed, it gives you the moment, maybe it's 5-10 minutes, where you actually just write it down right before you start your day. And the idea in this too is that you want to think about what you're grateful for within kind of the last 24 hours. You can be grateful for your family over a long period of time, but we want you to get really specific. Like, I'm really grateful that Isabel cleaned her room last night before she went to bed, and I'm going to tell her that this morning, right? As specific as that. I think when you get a little bit more granular and specific as opposed to vague, you're going to sort of see it mapping or growing over the 21 days. So Kevin and I are going to start it as well. We're going to track it. We're also going to post our gratitudes. I might have just thrown this in and he doesn't know that, but we're going to try and post them on our Instagram too, so that you can participate. This is about us, sharing with one another how we're going to take on this challenge. And if you want to figure out how to track your gratitudes, we put together a nifty little gratitude sheet for all of you to use. And it is located in the email where you got this great video, or you can also, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can go to our Instagram, and when you start following us, there's a link to download the gratitude sheet as well. So try it out. Let's see what we do in 21 days. Let's see, how we feel. Maybe it is going to shift our mind and anchor us into great things as we wrap up 2021 and start thinking about making it a great and amazing 2022.
I love it. Yeah, I'm ready for the challenge. I know Amy is too. So hopefully you are joining us. And as you mentioned, what you focus on expands.
Right. And I'm going to say that I am grateful for the fact that on Thursday, I'm going to have 26 people that I'm hosting for Thanksgiving. Second time doing it ever. So wish me luck. It's a lot of people, and I hope the turkey comes out okay.
I hope people are bringing food over.
Yes.
To help.
Yes, we've got a few things here and there. And my husband, thank God, is a really great cook. So I'm just going to be the entertainment probably, and the cleanup crew. I usually am the cleanup crew. So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if you need inspiration, a couple of things when it comes to gratitudes. First, you can Google gratitudes. You can look up Sean Aker. But one of my favorite sources of inspiration from the past was someone called Neil Pasricha. And he's an author and he's a speaker now. But in the past, in 2008, it was interesting. He was a normal guy, and he ended up losing his best friend, who took his own life, and also his marriage was falling apart. And he decided he had to focus on gratitudes. He had to focus on the positive. And so he started this blog called 1000awesomethings.com.
Oh, wow.
So it's 1000awesomethings.com. And every day he would put down something awesome. And so when you go to that site, you can still check it out. The blog's still up. You could see what he put in. And to Amy's point, to your point, it was very much specific. Like awesome things, such as, one of them I remember being the microwave popcorn popping perfectly in the bag.
Every kernel, nothing burnt.
That's right. And there's some entertaining things in there about family, like all these different things. So it's worth a shot. Take a look at it's good for inspiration and as an example. And we really appreciate you taking the time with us. We're grateful for each of you that joins us every Tuesday.
Yes, that we are. And we really want to wish all of you an amazing Thanksgiving with your family. I know it's always like a motley crew, at least it is at our house, but I love the messiness and I love the motley. So we wish all of you just a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you back at coffee next Tuesday. And remember, you've got this.